My name is Robert Gabriel. I'm the President and CEO of Microwise Technology, and I will be leading the demo today for the tips and tricks. I have with me in the room here, I have Shelly and also Taylor from Billflash. He recorded some of the agenda today, and we're going to be playing that recording. Anything you learn in this tips and tricks, or anything from Microwise or anybody else participate on this call, need to be verified by you, and Microwise or anybody else cannot be held responsible for any misinformation or misunderstanding. The agenda today, we go into how to send collection letters, sending patient to collection and what to avoid, insurance take back, how to receive online payments, adding notes to a statement, and reports to run for end of year. We're reaching the end of the year here, and I'm sure many of you wants to know what report should I run. Then the last half hour of the meeting, we're going to open it for Q&A. So first is using the statement management in Medisoft. So let me show you how to do that. So let me switch to, in statement management, you normally have a column for submission count. If you don't see that submission count column, is you anywhere in Medisoft, if you have Medisoft Advanced or Pro or Network Pro, you will always see this black dot here. That black dot, when you click on it, you can add columns that you don't have. This is all the available columns that you have that you can use. So I like to turn this on, which is called submission count. So if I turn my submission count on, I get to know how many times I submitted claims. So every time you submit, this counter will increase. So what you do is you sort by the maximum amount of counter, and you make your decision. This is not a real data, so I don't have a lot of statement here. So you look in here and say, all right, maybe my top 20 where they received more than 5 times statement, or force, whatever is the number that you need. You will go here and select it. So I did that by clicking on the first one, then hold your shift down, then go to the bottom to how far you want to go. So let's say I want to only pick the first 4. So those first 4 here, those are maybe the ones I want to send. Or the opposite is really maybe from here to here, I don't want to send. So what you can do here, you can say change status, and you can say I want to choose all my ready to send to hold. So I'm putting them on hold so they don't go out. Okay, then over here you go from here to here, and you say I want to change this from send to ready to send. So this is just making which ones you want to go out. So I'm holding the ones I don't need. Now the reason that those ones didn't change because they were not on the same status that I said to change. So let's say if I want to change all those 3 here, I need to say change status, and they're from send to hold. So what does that mean is all of this are hold, only those ones are ready to send. So this is in Medisoft. I'm going to show you next how to do it in Billflash. So just stay with me. So if you not want to do it in Billflash, you want to do it in Medisoft. So this is now all the ones I'm ready to send. Of course, if you have the cycle and you are outside of the cycle, if you don't know what that means, I'll address it. But if you have the billing cycle turned on, this might not go now because if you just printed it yesterday. So if you have the billing cycle, you need to keep that in mind. So now I have those statements that ready to go out. So normally I will do, just like you normally do, print send. Then it will come with the electronic. And now one of those Billflash here is a collection letter. Okay, so that collection letter you can actually customize if you don't like, the standard way. Let me show you the standard way how it comes out. So this is your normal standard statement. This is your collection letter. I really like this collection letter a lot for a couple of reasons. Uh, Unfortunately, a lot of patients thinks doctors are the last one that need to get paid. They don't think of them that they have a payroll to meet. They don't think of them. They think of them as rich people. They don't need to get paid right away. Let me pay everybody else, and I will pay my doctor last. When some, unfortunately, many patients are programmed, they don't take it seriously until they see something red that comes into the mail. So this is a perfect example of something red that comes in the mail, and this is instead of a regular statement. This here is the language that Billflash used as a standard. You can customize that. You can make it harsher. You can make it softer, whatever you like, and I'll show you how to customize that. So to customize that in Medisoft, let me go back to Medisoft, and you can do the same way if you're not using Billflash, using your own statement. So if you go to a report, so if I hit open, and in the open, this is all my statements. So let's say I choose, this is the one I'm using, collections. So this is really the language somewhere here. So if you want to change this, each line is a text line by itself. You just double click on it and type whatever you want. So the way the statement is designed, Medisoft, it's a text line for each. So each one is its own text line. So let me just move one of them to see what I mean. So this is here by itself. It's not like a paragraph. So you got to treat this as separate line by itself. You just double click on that line. You change whatever you want if you want. Most people are happy with the way the Billflash designed it, and they just keep it as is. But just in case if you want to create your own, or you want to, so over here you will go here and you say statement, or there's a difference between statement and statement management. If you're using statement management, you have to start from here. If you're using statement from the menu, you have to do it from here. So most of you use the statement management, and you will be looking at maybe something like a remainder statement like this one, and you will need to start with this and customize it. So you will need to add like a comment here, and however you want to, maybe you want to print it on a red form or something. But if I was you, I would probably want to use the Billflash if you have not been doing that yet. So that's how to customize your own, and this is how you customize the Billflash statement, and this is how it goes out as a red statement. I'm going to play this here, which is Taylor recorded this and using the portal. So after you load all your statement to the Billflash, how can you take a few of them and turn them into a red statement and add the comment that you want to add? So it will look like a regular statement, but it will be red, and it will have the comment that you would like to add. And so let's watch together and see how we can do that.
Okay, so this morning we're going to go over how to add messages and change the color of any statements for patients that have a past due balance. In this case, for example, we're going to send a message for those with a past due balance of more than 90 days. And this is a good tool to use when you have accounts that are not paying and they have some old statements and we need to get their attention. So one important thing to note here is that you will need to have aging turned on within your software. But the first step is to get the file in the Billflash. For now, I already have a file here. So I'm going to choose Review. And then I'm going to choose Edit File. Now that I'm here, I can sort by the criteria that I want by using these drop downs here. In this case, I want to add a message to anyone with a past due balance of more than 90 days. So I will select here, and it's going to do it with the smallest amount first and then the biggest amount last. I'm just going to click it again just so I can get those biggest amounts due right at the top. And I'm going to choose any statement that has a past due 90 balance over $500. So I'll select these 4 statements over on the left-hand side. And I'm going to choose Messages, Add. And then I'm going to choose from my library of messages this one here. It's important to note these library messages will be set up beforehand by you. This is something that I've just set up. You may not want to say this on your message, but I'm going to choose this one and add a message to selected records. You'll see here it shows the message that I've added. I can view here by hovering over it. The last thing that I want to do is change these statements to the color red. So I will choose color and red. You can see here that it updated these to be a red color. To make sure that those changes are caught and solidified, I'm going to choose Save Changes. Now just one double check, make sure everything was added correctly. I'm going to view the statement. You can see here that it's red, and then the message that I added is right here. And that's how you will add messages to your statements. Thanks.
Okay, well, thank you, Taylor. Okay, let's go back to the presentation. Any questions here? So if you have any question, please raise your hand or type your question. All right, don't be shy, guys. Everybody's quiet this morning. Okay, so let's. So I did show you how to do that without Billflash, and using Billflash. Virginia.
Hello, Robert. It's
Good morning.
Virginia. How are you?
I'm doing great, Virginia. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm just going back to the submission amount on the statements. I had tried to use that as a guideline for reporting patients that may be 90 days plus. And just if you can correct me, the submission amount is not clear because it sometimes represents a different times a patient has received even within different service dates. For example, if I have a patient that owes money for a visit in June, but then they received another statement that is adding a visit in October, it's not going to represent just exclusively that one service. It's going to represent both. Am I correct?
Yeah, you're correct. So let me ask you a question. Do you use Billflash or not?
Yes.
Okay. So did you see how Taylor did it on the portal where he sorted by
Yes.
the aging? Does
Yes.
that work better for you?
Okay. I think that's going to be better. I just wanted to clear that up
Yeah.
just to
So
make
yeah, the
sure.
submission count. So not everybody has Billflash. So I'm showing you both ways. And
Okay.
I think Billflash makes the most sense, and especially if you have your aging turned on and you able to sort it by the number of days in Billflash, so that makes the most sense, and you can send it that way.
Okay. Thank you, Robert.
Welcome, Virginia. Jackie, do you have your microphone hooked up?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning.
Good morning. My question is, in the bill flash, how do you turn on the agent, like you said, when you want to have the aging
Okay,
in
good
the bill flash?
question. Very good question. So, all right. So let's go back to Medisoft. So let me get out of here. So when you go to File, Program Options, okay, there is a tab for Billflash, and over here is the aging options.
Oh, okay.
So when you turn that on and you load, you use Billflash, Jackie?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. So when you turn that on, the files is going to look just like the way that Taylor showed on his presentation.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome so much. Anything else, Jackie? Okay. And the next topic is insurance take back. So insurance take back is, just in case if you don't know what that is, uh, when the insurance company pays you on a patient, then they want their money back for whatever reason. Sometimes the most common way that they take a take back is if they overpaid you, or let's say if a patient um, changes job or get fired and didn't tell you. The employer usually don't have to change the insurance for an employee right away. They have 30 days to do that. So a lot of times the insurance will pay you, then the employer goes and cancel the employee insurance, and now the insurance paid you for something that was not covered, so they want their money back. So they can do this in two different ways. They, they want a refund, or the most common is they take the money away from one patient and give it to another patient. So when you doing your deposit, if you don't see a take back code, that need to be set up, and it need to look like that. To do this effectively, you need to use the deposit screen. So let me show you that. So the deposit screen is, of course, is the money back. And when you do that, there's two ways of doing it. Either it's bundled in with another EOB. So let's say, for example, they were supposed to pay you $550, but they pay you $500. But do you need to apply $550 because what they did is they took money away from one patient and gave it to another patient. So let me show you how to do that. So when you hit new, and let's pretend that the check number or the EOB that you got is this, and let's say there was $500 on the EOB, and the insurance is Aetna. So make sure when you set up your insurances that those codes comes up. And this is a really bad example. This is a tutorial. I have not changed that. I don't like to have a code for each insurance company. Don't do that. That was 20 years ago in Medisoft. Right now is you can just have an insurance payment, an insurance adjustment, withhold, deductible, and take back. You don't need to say that this is Aetna adjustment, Aetna that. In the old days, we did not have capability to do that, but now we do have very sophisticated reports that can tell you the adjustment by insurance company. So there's no need, if you are doing an insurance code, adjustment code for each insurance, you don't need to do that. So this should read just an insurance payment, not Aetna payment, insurance adjustment, insurance withhold, deductible, and take back. So this is what we're going to focus on today. So the way this is set up, of course, it's set up as an insurance take back type. We know the different types here. So when you have this set up, and now I hit save, so now you're ready to apply your EB. I'm going to start with the take back first. So I'm going to hit apply, and I'm just going to take my first Dwight here. And if nothing came up because it was paid already, so if this, watch out for this box here. What this box here means, show unpaid only. So if this is turned on, that means it will be the stuff that was not paid yet. But if you're not seeing the line because it might disappear because it was paid, you need to turn this off so you can see more. And I'm going to start with this one because no, I want something that was paid. Yeah, this one was paid. See here, $60 has a 0. And now I'm going to go into my take back column, and I'm going to type $50, and watch what's going to happen. First, this became a $50 balance. So now that patient balance is now $50. It's up to you now how you want to handle it. But the most important, my $500 became now $550, because now I have more money to apply because I was short $50 because they took money away from me because of Dwight, and now they want to give it to, Jane Smith. So that's how I gain my $50. So now the next thing you need to take care of is what's happening with my $50 here. Are you going to bill the patient for that $50, or are you going to adjust it? If you're going to adjust it, if you know that the policy of your practice that you need to adjust that $50, I can just kill two birds with one stone and come here and just write this as a $50 adjustment. And now I can just go here and change my adjustment to be something else if I want. So, if you have a special code for this type of situation, I can just go and change it on the spot here. So now if I do that, so the insurance company took $50 from me, but because of, whatever reason, the policy of my practice, I'm not going to bill the patient. But if you're going to bill the patient, leave this 0. Now that patient has $50 balance, and now you need to bill that patient. Okay, so now when I close this, now my EOB, it became $550. I have now $550 to adjust. If this comes up, pop up, and you don't do it that way, by the way, you can turn those buttons off. Those buttons right here, and this way you don't have to bother with those pop-ups, so you don't have to keep hitting cancel, and you have just too many things to click. So just what the most important I want to show you. Now I wind up with $50 extra because my take back. Any question on this? Okay. All right, I'll take that as a no. And let's move on with the next topic. Okay. Uh, the next topic is how to receive an online payment. So some of you, I heard you have Billflash is great. Online payment is a service by Billflash. We can add that for you. I have Shelly here in the office today. She can sign you up today. It's great. I love it. So let me explain to you what it means. I work so hard. I go home, and as you all do, I'm sure, I go home late, tired after work, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I look at my pile of mail, and of course, I have 3 kids. I get doctor bills, and guess who gets paid the first? The doctors that have an online payment. Why? Because I can do it 11 o'clock at night. I can do it at midnight. Nobody has to be in the office. I don't need to give my credit card to anybody. I can pay by check. I don't own a check printed for the last 15 years. I do everything online. So when it's I don't really need to give somebody my credit card over the phone, because we all know that there is a lot of strict rules about the credit card now. So a lot of people just write it on a piece of note, and it might not wind up in the shredder. You opening yourself for liability here, but forget about liability for a minute. I want to make it as easy as possible for you to get paid. I want to make it as easy as possible for your customers, your patients to get paid. So that you need to take the advantage of technology. There more and more in changes in healthcare, we are as patients have more skin in the game. So how are we going to do that? We're going to use technology to get paid as fast as we can and as easy as we can. So e-bill or e-statement, e-bill is really paying online, and I love it. So all it is we go. Let's go back to my statement. So all it is, there will be the same statement that you're doing. It will be listed somewhere here, and it will have a link to the online payment. So it will say, so this patient is getting this by paper, okay? And all it's going to say is nexttrust.com/ your practice name, whatever nickname that you can have for the practice, or short name. We don't want to make it too long. It's going to be something nice and short. And they go on that line, they enter they confirm. They don't need to set up an account. They can pay it one time, or they can set up an account and have to they do it all the time from now on. So the whole beauty is they can do this online, without bothering you, without taking occupying your phones, without all those phones ringing, without all the you have to go through double work. And the beauty now, it goes inside your Medisoft. Yes, it goes inside your Medisoft. Let's watch a demo on how this works.
Billflash is making it easier for you to get paid in Medisoft. Billflash is a suite of billing and payment services fully integrated in Medisoft. You can access your Billflash account, view previously sent statements and reports right from the Activities menu. Sending statements is easy. Simply go to your statement manager, generate and print your batch, and choose the electronic option. Medisoft securely uploads your statements to the Billflash website. From there, you can quickly review, reject, or approve your batch. Your e-bills are sent the same business day, and your statements are mailed the next business day. With Billflash Online ePay, your patients can make secure payments to you online 24/7 through our portal, My Provider Link. Patients can access this via their e-bill or a printed link right on their statement. Patients can create an account or make a one-time payment. Simply choose the payment method, fill out the required information, and submit the payment. From here, they can print a receipt. Getting payments back into Medisoft is quickly done through the deposit list. Use the ePay button to sync payments and bring
So now
them
this
into
is
the
receiving
list.
payment in your
You can
office
then apply
in
these
person.
payments with the Apply button. With Billflash Office Pay, you have access to credit card and e-check processing directly in Medisoft. Applying a payment through the Charges and Payment screen, just click the Office Pay button, select the payment method, select the payment source, and swipe the card or enter the payment information. It's that easy. Your payment is processed and you can print or email a receipt. If you don't already have an email address in Medisoft, you can enter one here. Payments can be processed from multiple locations in Medisoft. For example, accepting copays from the scheduler can streamline your front office procedures. Just right-click, add the copay information, and click the Office Pay button. Take full control with Billflash's fully integrated services to easily send e-bills, professionally printed statements, accept online, in-office, over the phone, and mailed-in payments. With Billflash, you will increase your operational efficiency, lower costs, and improve cash flow. Billflash has no contracts, no setup fee, free training, and the first 30 days are free. Contact your Billflash reseller to get started today.
All right, so just to thank you for attending today is if you sign up today with Shelly, you're actually going to get 2 months, not 1 month free. So if you need to speak to Shelly, just let me know. I'll give you access to her after this meeting. So let's go back to now adding notes on the statement. Uh, so again, if you're adding notes on the statement using Billflash, I'm going to show you that. Or if you're not using Billflash, it's the same steps as I'm going to show you, but you would need to have a customized statement. Email me, I'll send you that. But if you're using Billflash, I'm going to just show you how to add that statement on the note. The note on the statement. I'm dyslexic, so. Okay, so let's go back to Medisoft. And again, I'm going to start from here, and I'm going to hit apply, and I'm going to open my guinea pig here, Dwight. And let me just do this here. So let's say I'm paying this amount here. So let's say I'm paying, $25. and I want to, the patient has a remainder of the $33. I want to explain to them what is that remainder is. So over here is, it's called rejection, but it could be anything you want. So you can have canned messages here, and those canned messages can be, you can just, add a new on the spot here by pushing your F8 or right click and do this here. You can make your own, but once you make your own, it will be available for you to pick from here. So that note, whatever you have here, you can only allowed one note per line. So you cannot have two notes on the same line. So when you do that, is you will notice here that it says there's a note. Okay, that icon changes, and that will automatically go to the Billflash without you doing anything. It will come on this on their statement. But if you're not using Billflash, you will need to customize statement. So if you need access to that, email me. I'll send you the customized statement at no charge. So Becky has a question. Becky, you on the air?
I did, but that's okay. I'll go through it when I talk to somebody about Billflash. That's okay. Just keep
Do
going.
you have Billflash yet?
No, I'm seriously considering it though.
Okay, great. We'll sign you up today. You get 2 free months for everything. Great. So there, if you don't have Billflash, it's 2 months free. Everything is free. Your credit card processing, your online payment, everything's free for 2 months. You don't have to pay a nickel. Then after that, if you take credit card in your office, it's going to be much cheaper for you because they have the lowest rate. They're not going to play a game and ask you, oh, show me how much you pay for your credit card. They're going to offer you the best rate. Now, and how do I know it's the best rate? Because I shopped around. I found out that actually Costco has the lowest rate. They happen to be lower than Costco. So by few pennies, but it adds up. But forget about the saving on the money. It's the convenient for you, for the patients, and how easy it is you making it for people to pay you. I actually have, of course, I have from 12 years ago, I use integrated credit card inside my accounting system. And guess what? I pay the highest rate in the industry. Why? Because of I can save like $25,000 a year, but I choose not to because I'm a technology guy. I want everything integrated. So I don't mind paying $25,000 a year because it's so easy for my customers. They can pay online, and it's so easy for my staff. It saves me half an employee. If I don't do that integration, it saves me half an employee. So, being a technology guy, I jumped on it 12 years ago. So even that I can get much lower rate, but see, the Billflash is offering you the lowest rate and giving you the convenience of having it full integrated into Medisoft. So try it for 2 months, and you got nothing to lose but the fees that you're paying for your credit card. All right, let's go back here. Any questions on the notes here? So um, if you think of your question, go ahead. But while I'm speaking on the note, if you don't want a canned message, like let's say it's a one-time thing message, I can just come up here and just type the message. I need to change this to be a statement note, but that's a one that doesn't get saved in your canned message. We will not see it in the drop down here. And of course, the Billflash portal has something similar to this. So you can type it there. If you send it to Billflash, then you'll realize, oh, you needed to type a note on that statement. You can just, the Billflash allowed you to do that. Just like if you have it in your hand and you're mailing them by hand, you can choose to attach a sticky to it. Billflash does the same thing online. So if you have any question, raise your hand. I'll be glad to answer it. So let's move back to the agenda here. So if you don't have Billflash and you want the customized statement, email it to me. I will send it to you so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. I think we have a question here, and the question is from Jackie again. Jackie?
Yes. Is there a way that you can have a statement note and an internal office note on the same line?
Not on the same line. Not on the same line. You can have, so when you said a statement note, Are you talking about in general, like you passed 30 days or you passed 60 days?
No, the statement note, like how you have the rejection code where the insurance paid and say $30 would go to the patient's responsibility as a copay. But then on the actual, if you have 3 charges on the same claim, one of the charges would say that they're not paying because they're requesting information from the member.
Okay, so that's a one-time thing, it sounds like, correct?
Right. Correct.
Okay. So if it's a one-time thing, I will go in Medisoft and just add it like this. Let me make sure I don't. Okay. So you'll go back to Medisoft and you do it in here in documentation. So that one you can type as much as you want, but it will override anything in here. So you can only have one or the other per line. Each line, I can have one message for each line, but you cannot have 2 canned messages or 2 notes here. So this note here is going to replace whatever you have in here. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, good. All right, thank you so much, Jack.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, we have a typed questions, and let's have Shelly ask that question here.
Okay, so can we write a note and can it go to transaction? Medisoft.
Okay, so can we write a note and it goes to transaction? Yes, if you whatever note you just typed, it actually goes into the transaction. So let me show you. So whatever note you type here, that note, so let me just save this here so you can see it. Okay, so if I hit save, and I'm not, I keep forgetting to turn this off because I don't print statement from here. So whatever you do from here is, it shows in a couple places. So number one is, let me go to my Dwight and let me go to my latest payment. Okay, so let me select that line. Okay, so that, no, that was not the payment. So you will have here a sticky that shows you that there was a memo here. Okay, so you will, oh, I'm sorry, it's right here. So you will have a sticky here. Now you can see this by turning the note button on. See this note button? If I click on that, it shows you my nice writing that I did here. So so that sticky here is a sign that you have that. Also, when you look at your quick ledger, okay, anytime you see that little sticky, those stickies are notes. So if you turn again your note button somewhere here, I think it's here, note. Okay, you can actually see the what's in the note button, and you can actually edit the note from here if you want. Okay, so right here is your notes. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. Okay, so the next question is from Virginia, and Virginia is saying, is there a multiple note will show? Okay, no, only one note per line. So you see how each line can only have one sticky? You cannot have more than one sticky per line. So if you did a statement note, then you wrote it with a different note, it will override it. Now, don't confuse this with AR notes. So AR notes is something different, and it's done from the collection, list. That's a different type of notes. I'll cover that, at a different tips and tricks meeting. So only one note per line. If you need to combine 2 notes together, you need to retype it in the note thing as I showed you in the documentation all the way on top. If you wanted to show on the statement, make sure you pick to show on the statement. So hopefully that answers your question, Virginia. All right, let's, if you have no more question on this, I'll move on to the next topic. Okay, end of year. Happy holidays, everybody. And so the biggest question that comes is, what report should I run? So there's not a really a perfect answer for that. It depends on your practice. It depends on your accountant. But I do have a link that I want to share with you that I explain. I kind of took the older reports in Medisoft and I give them a description and I give you a thumbnail because a lot of people forget what each report does. So I'm going to share with you that link. So if you go, that link is on microwise.com/Medisoft/Medisoft reports. And if you go there, I have a thumbnail for each report. And of course, you can get there by also navigating through the products. If you cannot remember the link, if you click on the product Medisoft and go all the way to the section here where I have the different categories. So one of these categories here is Medisoft reports. And if you click on learn more, it takes you to the same page if you cannot remember the actual link. So over here is the description of each report. And if you click on the thumbnail, it actually enlarges it and shows you what the report looks like. So you don't have to wait, 20 minutes for a report to compile on your end. You can actually come to this link and look at the reports and see if this is the type of report you want. My stupid iTunes keeps popping up, so don't ask me again. Thank you. All right, let's go back here. So this is a report that I like. So this is year-to-date flash report. So let me do this live for you here. So let me go back to Medisoft, and I'm going to open the reports. So I go to report all the way to the bottom. You have your Medisoft reports, and I like to search. So let's say if you don't remember what category it is, you can just type, let's say, production. And if you type that and hit find, it finds you anything has the word production. This is not what I was looking for, but let's say I want to run production by procedure. Then it opens the section that it is, and you can just run it like that. But that's not what I was looking for. I was looking actually for my financial report, my focus on financial. And I want my flash report. I'm doing this one. I'm not doing year to date because this is not a real database. So I don't want to put range of days. So I want to open everything. And this is the report I like. So this will show you for whatever year you are in, if you do the year to date, it will show you month by month how many patients you saw, how much charges you did, how much insurance payment you did, and patient payment adjustment. And so this is nice summary for the whole year. And it's a benchmark for you for the next year or comparing it with from last year. You do have year to date and last year, and you can compare them together. You see how, oh, we went up by 20% this year, or we went down. So if what's not measured, it's not managed. So we want to always have some numbers to manage. So this is a good number to manage, is my flow of patient, my insurance payment percentage, and my patient payment percentage, and my adjustment. So those are some numbers to manage. And if you go to the bottom of the report, you will have a nice graph that shows you your trend of payment, and you also have a graph for a trend of charges. So, but then you look for the whole year, and you will see a total number of visits. You see, total number of payment for each month by month. So I didn't have, this is not a real data, so this is all fake. So when you run this report, actually runs really fast, so you can run that report on your end. I like this report a lot. The other reports here is aging report. Aging is not just something you run on a monthly basis. This is on a yearly basis. You need to look at this every month. So you need to look at your patient remainder aging, You need to look at primary insurance aging, secondary insurance aging. So this is something you need to monitor, but it's sad that I see a lot of practice that they don't even run those reports. And they some of you might inherited some report, some mess from a previous biller. We need to talk about how to clean it up. It's really crucial for you to clean this up, because if you're not running your aging report, I bet you there's lots of money that can be, unless you're really doing a lot of work manually, then there's no way somebody can manage that report. So if you're doing it just before computer was invented, and so I see some people do that and it works for them, but that's, I'm a technology guy. I want to use the computer. I want the computer to work for me. I don't want to work for the computer. So I highly recommend that you clean up your AR and always look at your patient remainder aging, your primary insurance aging, and your secondary insurance aging. I see a hand from Becky. Becky, okay. You're on the air, Becky.
You had showed the Flash report. Do you have to have Billflash to run that report, or is that just the name of it?
No, that's the name of it. It has nothing to do with Flash.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Okay. So yeah, there's a technology called Flash on the internet. This actually has nothing to do with the internet. This runs on your own computer, so it does work on anything that you're connecting Medisoft with. So those are the type of reports that I like, and let me just go back to Medisoft and make sure that you know how to. Let's talk about the different dates and make sure everybody's on the same page here. So anytime you run a report in Medisoft, so let me just do aging and do, primary insurance aging. If you have if you come from an older version of Medisoft, um, it used to let you filter on dates. The new reports doesn't let you filter on dates because uh, a lot of people hurt themselves by filtering, because it Medisoft allowed you to have old receivable that you don't touch it and you just want to bypass it, and people get into financial trouble because there's nobody following up on AR and giving the report to the manager, and now the manager see that everything looks good, but there's a big mess from last year or the year before. So Medisoft does not let you filter for, or I think that's maybe the reason they did it. That's why I like their new report, because of that. I'm not sure if that's why McKesson did it, but they don't let you filter it for the aging report anymore. So, but in anything that has a filter, so let me do like a day sheet. Anything has a filter. It's really important to understand the difference between. So, date created means the day that was entered in the system physically. Date from means the day of service, uh, including payment. So anything you use in here, it's the logic and. That means it's this and that. That means the more you type here, the more it narrows down. So a lot of times you don't need to do both unless you have a particular situation where you know that you entered in a specific week for a specific day, and you can narrow it down that way. But most of the time, you want to pick one or the other, and as long as you're consistent, your report will stay consistent. You don't want to run it one time this way and one time that way. That's how you're going to wind up with different data every time. Okay. Uh, Now, as we all know, Medisoft is an open accounting system. So if you go back and you backdated something and you run your report again, your numbers are going to look different. And that's why Medisoft reports sometimes will look different from today than when I ran it last week. So this is really important for you to understand that. Any questions on that? Okay, I'll take that as a no. All right, let's go back to my presentation. And the next topic is, this question came from Dr. Subarbianamam. I'm sorry to, I probably butchered your name. So the question is, they this practice, they collect their money up front. Then they get paid from the insurance company. Then they wind up with an overpayment, and they want the best way to handle the overpayment. I'm going to show you how to do that. Let me just show you how I wish this worked, because the way it's supposed to work, it's not working. So this is what my wish, which is hopefully McKesson can fix this. So first, there's a refund, and I'm going to show you this now. So let's say I start from here. When I create a new, I already have it here, so let me delete it and start it again. So when I hit new, this time I want to do it as patient payment. And over here, let's say I'll take the white again, and the adjustment code, maybe I want it to be a refund. So this is how I wish it was working. This is not how you're going to do it. But this is once McKesson fix that, this should work. Now I'm going to edit here, and this is here. This turned off. That's how a refund should work. It's really a positive adjustment, because you're adding money. If the balance is negative $100, it's going to be zero. So you added $100. So that's why this is turned off. Normally, any adjustment, this is on, but in this situation, it's off. Okay, so that's how. Then now, if this would have worked, I can now, no, I didn't put a number. So let's say I'm giving a refund of $25. So now when you hit apply, okay, so see here, this negative $10. If this works the way it's supposed to work, if I add here $10, this should become zero, but unfortunately now it becomes negative 20, so it actually reversed it. So this is a bug here, in my opinion, and don't do it from here. But once they fix this, hopefully you can do it from here. But let me show you how you're supposed to do it for now until that thing is fixed. Okay, so it's something similar to this, but I am going to do it in a different way. So I'm going to do it from here, and I want to open the day that I want to refund. So let's say I want to go back to, maybe I want to look for something that, let's go back to this date here. Okay. Now I want something that has payment. So let me go here, and let's say I want this day has payment. I know. Okay. So let's go here, and I want to refund. This patient has a positive amount, a negative overpayment, and I want to refund that money. So I will come down here. I'll hit new, and I'm going to choose my refund code. Same code that it didn't work on the other screen. Watch how it's going to work here. So, and now that refund is going, who am I refunding the money to? So I'm refunding the money to my patient. And let's say I'm refunding, the $20 or whatever number it is. So you go and apply this, and you go into work, see how work now? See this balance? If I put a $10 here, this balance becomes zero. See, it didn't work on the other screen, but it does work here. If I put a $5 here, and if I put a $2 here, so now I took care of all of this. Okay, I refunded, that was not negative, that was a positive. So I will leave it just for the 10 and the 15, and now hit close. And if you save this, watch, I started with a negative 15. If I save that, it's going now, it has a positive 7. So it reversed that money because I received more money, and I refund them the money. And it would be good if you just go on that refund, and maybe you wrote the check number that you give out the refund to, and that can work really nice for you. So I wish it was working the other way. It's supposed to work the other way because it's the same exact code, but from the other screen, it's not letting you do a refund. And I believe it's a bug. Okay, so look like we have hand here. Vicky?
On my system, if I did that, it would not allow me to save because I had $5 unapplied still. I'm not sure how you got that to work.
Okay, good question. Good catch. I cheated. So what I did is in File Program Options, under the payment application, there's no, under data entry, there's something here that will let you, uh, it doesn't alert you to apply all your money. So let's see if I force,
Second.
I think maybe it's under payment. Payment. Uh, okay, I'm gonna find it. There's something to it where you don't have to. Data entry. Maybe it's under data entry. Okay, force that number, multiple order, tax, automatic payment, calculate, update. I can't remember where it is. It's not here. It's either under data entry or under payment. It's something called force payment to be applied, and I turned it off, or it's the
The
opposite.
second one in transaction.
Okay, force payment to be applied. Yes. So that's okay. That's the one. If you turn that off, it will not force you to apply. But you be careful with that because sometimes that it's a good thing. And if you get stuck, you can actually you leave your screen and come here and change it, and come back, and it will let you get out without applying the whole amount. So you don't have to cancel your transaction. You can just leave it as is. Go to program options and change the option, and it will let you do it. Okay.
Okay.
So does that answer your question?
Yep.
Okay, very good, Becky. Any other questions? Okay, I have the next question is from Mohammed. Uh, Mohammed, you on the air?
$5. So I think we have given $20 there, which is incorrect. It should be $15, right?
Yes. Yeah, I didn't apply the
So
whole,
are
the
you
whole amount.
in this refund for 1214, which you just made?
Mm-hmm.
There is another amount of $5 still open. We are refunded only 15.
Yeah, I was just making up numbers, but the I could have started with a different number. So I didn't give the money to all of them. So if I want to give the money to a different day of service, I don't recommend this, but if you want to give a different day of service, you turn this on, so you get to see all the day of service. Then now you can apply to a different day of service. I don't like it that way because I like when I go to one of my transactions, like let me just go to okay, so it's not letting me, continue here because of my force thing was not on. So let me turn it on. Was it force payment to be applied? So I just turned it off now, and when I close this here, it does let me uh, uh, close it. So I'm going to hit no now, and now it let me get out. So that's how I got around it. So the question that you have is, uh, if I wanted to apply to a different day of service, I like to keep things organized like that. I like to have my document number turned on, and I like when I go to a day of service, let's say I go to this day of service, for example, I like to see my charges up here and my payment down here. When you start to turn this on and you apply payment like that or adjustment like that, it will get out of whack. And I wish, I tell everybody I receive payment from here, but the fund is not working in this deposit list the way it should be, the way I think it should be. Uh, so really, just be careful. Is if you going to give refund for different day of service, and the other day of service is not shown on your screen, the only way you can get around it is turn that or give different refunds, one for each day of service. If you want to keep things nice and neat, where each day of service it has the payment on top and the adjustment and the refunds at the bottom. That's the way I like it to be. I don't like it to be one big mesh of things. So, if
Okay.
Okay.
I got it.
Anything else?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, the next question is from Sarah. Sarah, I don't see you on the phone. Let me send you a pin. I don't know. Okay, your audio pin is 115. And I don't know if I can get it to work for you now. So Sarah, if you wanna enter your question on the screen, or because I'm not able to unmute you. Okay, Sarah, can you talk? Sarah? Hello? Yeah, I can hear you now, Sarah.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Sarah.
Is there a way to apply interest from insurance that it wouldn't show as negative in a patient's chart?
Very good question. The best way to handle the interest is, it's not worth it to keep track of each patient of the interest that you get. I will make a fake patient, call it interest, and just apply that interest to that patient. It's a fake patient. It's not worth it to keep tracking it patient by patient. Medisoft does not really have a good way of doing that. So just don't worry about it. You never want to, reward the patient for any interest or not. It's really not really patient pertaining. So you can have one account, call it interest patient, and just receive that money toward, and that patient will always have a negative balance. Or you can have an
Okay.
interest for each insurance company if you really want to be, do it that way. But one account is good enough.
Okay, it's just a little confusing for the front desk. When they see negative, they right away
You don't.
assume
Right.
that we owe money to the patient, and it has nothing to do with the patient.
I agree. I don't like it to be done in a patient. Don't do it inside that patient. Do it in a totally different fake patient. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Great. Thank you, Sarah. Okay. The next question is from Natalie. Natalie, you on the air?
Yes,
Natalia, I'm
yes, good
sorry.
morning, Robert. Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I have the following question. What if an insurance company send me a payment and then they're requesting the payment back because another insurance company was a primary carrier for the patient? How do I enter it in the system that I refunded the insurance company? And then what do I do with the balance if I already created another another claim to go to the correct insurance company?
Okay. So if the primary insurance, you thought that the primary insurance was the primary insurance, they paid you, then they found out it's not, they refunded you.
Correct. And I have to refund them back, and I send the money back. How do I enter it in the system
Okay.
without it?
So the best way to do that is, you need to, after you refund it, you need to create a new case, and that new case will need to have the correct insurance. So let's say the case was I thought it was. So let me ask you this question: was it wrong from the beginning, or it was correct at one time, and you have transaction under that one time, it worked fine, then all of a sudden things change and you were not aware of it?
That's right. It was just a temporary thing that just happened for one time, and I need to refund the money back. I did refund the money back, but how do I enter it in the system that it's I refunded the money?
It will be something very similar to the patient refund, but instead of the refund with a patient adjustment, the refund will be an insurance adjustment.
But then I have a credit. So what do I do with that? No, I still have the outstanding balance now for two insurances, for two cases.
Okay.
Correct?
So after you adjust it down here, okay, you want to take care of that. You want to bring it back to a zero balance, right?
So
Because
write it off?
so you write it off as a refund. Because you refunded back to the insurance. So now you want to bill the correct insurance company.
Okay.
So after the trick part here, the tricky part is after you enter. So let's say if this was Medicare Aetna, then you found out it's the other way around.
Correct.
So to do that, it depends if this is something you want to do for all your claims or just a one-time thing.
Just a one time.
Okay, if it's a one-time thing, you want to have a separate case for it. Because if I go and I edit this case and I reverse them around, it will change my history. So if it's a one-time thing, you want to create a separate case for that one-time thing and handle it so here you can say new case and now you can call it, Aetna Medicare. I'm just calling it that way, and whatever Medicare can't even type. Okay, so Aetna Medicare, and you go here and you put the correct policies here, and now you enter the claim, and that's a one-time thing. You wrote off, you refunded the money for the other one, leave the other one alone. This is how you're going to do it in here, and that should work for you.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So I think I have Sarah. I'm not sure if you have another question or that was from before. Sarah. Okay, I think that was from before. And the next question is Becky. Becky, on the air? Becky, was that from before?
Oh, must have been.
Okay. All right. So the next question is from Pankshaya. Okay. All right, Pankshaya, you're on the air.
Yeah, yeah. I want to know, can I see all the transactions sticky note at a time by one click, or we have to click individually?
So can you repeat your question again? I'm sorry.
Sometimes in the transaction there are multiple notes for each transaction. Can we see all sticky note together at a one click?
So you want one transaction has multiple nodes?
No. In transaction screen there are multiple the dates, and each date has a sticky note. Like one has a PCP, other has a other insurance. Can we see all note together?
No, you can't. You cannot see all nodes together. So the way I like to do it is I like to go to Quick Ledger, so I can spot all the lines that has notes. See here, I see that this is a note. I see this is a note. So what I can do is I can click here and turn the note on. I can just go. I can read this, then now go to the other line and read this note.
Oh, there is no way we can just click or see all note together.
But that's a very good question. That will have to be submitted as enhancement.
It's very difficult to coordinate the 2-3 node by clicking and goes away the second screen. So.
All right, now let me show you one thing which is really totally different, and that might work for you. You see all the way here. See this called edit patient note. This is called final draft.
Okay.
Final draft is a much more sophisticated way to type notes, and that can be. It's not linked to Dave's service. I can type as many notes as I want, and now when I close this, I save this. So whenever I'm with that patient, I will go to the final draft.
What is that screen called?
I can see all my notes there.
Okay. That I can do it. The same thing I can do in a deposit list also. Deposit also.
Defaulted.
Sorry.
What do you mean by
right? Now we are in transaction, and we can write the note.
Yes.
Right. And how about deposit? When we are doing deposit, can we use the same note?
Whatever patient you are in is, if you click on note, it will open it. See how I have my chart number here? If I close this and I go to a different patient, so let's say I change this from Dwight to Austin. Now, if I click on my final draft, I see three different patients.
Oh, how about deposit? When we are in deposit list?
I never really tried in deposit, but let's try it now. So if you are in deposit, deposit is kind of tricky because you're not really in a particular patient. So
No, if we are in patient like open, just go further when we try the deposit, because
yeah,
that's what we want. Every time we have a
even let you
deductible or
it
kind
doesn't,
of payment,
yeah.
we have to write the note. It should coordinate. We should back and forth. We put all the notes in the transaction and going back in deposit list. So
Yeah, I
can
know.
you open
Yeah.
one detailed transaction and see the deposit list? Can we use the note?
No, I hear you. I know where you're going with this. I think that need to be enhanced in Medisoft.
Okay, okay.
I will definitely take it to development. I appreciate your comment. That's yeah, that could be enhanced.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Any other questions? If you want to sign up for Billflash, I have Shirley with me here in the office. Let's do it now. So call me up, and if I'm busy on the phone, she'll get back right to you. Unless you have more questions, good time flies fast. I want to thank you so much for all the business you give to Micro Eyes, and on the behalf of Billflash, I want to thank you for your